We chose to do our project on the effects of yoga and how it has on people's mental health. And then the background of yoga is that yoga started as a pre-classical study in northern India in over 5,000 years ago. The Brahmins were the first people to start documenting their practices and experiences. In the late 1800s and early 1900s, yoga finally began to travel more west and reach more areas of the world. The person to open the first yoga studio was Indra Devi in Hollywood in 1947, and yoga first started for spiritual developments to train the mind and the body to become more aware in their own nature.
Yeah, and before kind of going into how the effects of yoga are having on our physical appearance, as well as the effects that it can have on the mental, we thought we'd just kind of go over some terms that are commonly used within kind of the arena of talking about your physical appearance. So we can see body dissatisfaction, just when someone is kind of unhappy with their physical appearance. Body preoccupation, when someone is very obsessed with what they look like and concentrates on how much they weigh. Body image avoidance. Pretty much it's just when somebody is really obsessed with making sure they are not able to see themselves or other people look at their own body. And then the two most common ones we're probably going to see within this project, as well within today's society, is body dysmorphia as well as muscle dysmorphia. Body dysmorphia is when somebody kind of has a false image of how they look. And muscle dysmorphia is the exact same thing, except they're never satisfied with what their body figure is on a muscular level. And these are just kind of some case studies of what we can see here for people that are affected by their physical outlook, and kind of even dating back around 30 to 40, 50 years, we've seen a drastic increase around 60% for people that are dissatisfied with how their body looks. So we can see in there in 1973, only 23% of women and 15% of men were dissatisfied with their body. And in recent years, in the past 4 years, in the last study, we've seen 83% of women and 75% of men being very dissatisfied with their bodies. Just to note, this is 53%. This is a study in the UK that was done during COVID-19. 53% of adults were feeling far worse about their bodies, and 58% of those reported the same. And this is a quote from a girl from 15 to 17 that said, "Lockdown has made my body image worse, due to be able to spend time on social media and just having time to sit in front of the mirror for ages." Some multiple studies here and statistics that we can kind of see more than 50% of adults in many parts of the globe are experiencing weight stigma. And some kind of ones I've bolded here just so that we can see is that 90% of women are unhappy with their bodies. And the last kind of two here, in a survey, more than 40% of women and about 20% of men agreed that they would consider cosmetic surgery, and only 10% of people that are suffering from an eating disorder or anything like that will actually go get professional help. And then some more kind of statistics are listed on this page.
There are many physical benefits of yoga, and some of the most common ones are an increase in flexibility and an increase of muscle strength and tone. By doing yoga, it'll add to your active hours of the day, and it will help you lose weight if needed. And it'll also be good for your cardiovascular health, and it can protect you from injury. And then with the yoga, sleep is also repaired. And then that's physical benefits. And now for mental benefits, it reduces stress, and it can also be it's known for being an effective alternative for stress relief. It helps slow down the body and will help control one's thoughts and emotions while performing yoga. It has also been proven to be an alternate treatment for depression, and movement-based yoga has been shown to improve depressive symptoms in many case studies.
Awesome. And here are kind of just some more case studies on people that have been or are still struggling with their mental health. On the side right here, you'll kind of see an infograph from NAMI.org, large mental health organization. So yeah, just around 26% of Americans that are 18 and older, about 1 in 4, they are the ones that are suffering with a diagnosed mental disorder every year. I thought it was very interesting, the statistic that is even listed on the side right here: 50% of all lifetime mental illnesses begin by the age of 14 and 75% by the age of 24. And even other studies have kind of shown that, especially within the kids that are from 18 to 24, this is actually that specific age range. You can kind of see right there, 1 in 3 experience mental illness from 18 to 25, and especially within the US. You can also see that 64.5% of US adults are seriously experiencing mental illness, and they will not receive treatment. And over 60% of major depression does not receive any mental treatment whatsoever. And all these are obviously documented and cited from specific medical research from Hopkins, from NAMI, and from Michigan National Health. So yes, that is pretty much all the statistics around mental health.
Many recovering from acute trauma struggle to downregulate their sympathetic responses, which is like your fight, flight, and freeze. This causes them to feel constantly unsafe and uneasy, unable to relax. So because yoga is a form of complementary and alternative medicine, a study was conducted with survivors of human trafficking in Uganda to determine if yoga was an effective way to help their healing process. And after practicing therapeutic yoga for 12 weeks, they were surveyed on their results. And as you can see, the dark blue line on the top of the chart is before, when they were surveyed before they started doing yoga, and the bottom is after. And almost everybody after had improved on their sleep, improved with if they were having headache problems, they had more energy, felt less scared, they felt more satisfied with what they were eating, they felt less sad and less hopeless, and they had better concentration. Another study reviewed various literature about practicing yoga to benefit high schoolers. And all of the literature pointed to their physical health, social relationships, academics, mental health, emotional regulation, mood and positive emotions, and self-esteem all improving, and stress, test anxiety, anxiety, depression, substance abuse, and school dropout rates were all reduced.
So there are 5 main types of yoga. The first type of yoga is called Insura, and this is known as the most spiritual form of yoga. It focuses on the inner self, mind, and soul of a person. The second type of yoga is Kundalini, and this form of yoga includes the 7 chakras, and this is the type of yoga that uses most of the major poses included in yoga. And the third type of yoga is Vinyasa, and it is the type of yoga that focuses primarily on breathing as well as the technique of the yoga. Bikram is a 4th type of yoga, and it's normally practiced in a hot, humid room, and it's also referred to as hot yoga. Hatha is the last type of yoga, and it introduces beginners to yoga with basic and asanas and relaxation techniques. So if you have come to the conclusion that you are not in the right mental state that you'd like to be in, and think that yoga would be a good option to help, there are very practical ways that you can act. To start off, there are classes that you can take in yoga studios, as well as free classes on campus. And there is a really easy way to start, and there are lots of apps on the App Store that can help you get introduced to yoga. And a few of those are Daily Yoga and Down Dog. And yeah, that is our presentation on how yoga can affect mental health.